I believe this is really the moment that has forever affected Destiny's career. Andrew Wilson asked him a single question.
I got one question for you, and I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in this country has been crazy. But the reality is, until conservatives.
So then why did you say to your co-host that Trump deserved the bullet?
Andrew came prepared. He knew exactly what he wanted to ask him. He did the research, and he's ready to go.
Why did you say to your co-host that the best place for the bullet was Trump? Why did you say that?
Why did Donald Trump call
It's a whataboutism. Whataboutism. I'm asking you a question.
Whataboutism.
I can't be a whataboutism if it's my question, Destiny.
Why won't Donald Trump
answer the question?
Right, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this?
Piers Morgan knows that Destiny's trapped here.
Ask the question, then you answer it, okay? Andrew.
No, I want to hear the other
side.
First.
Let him ask the question.
Donald Trump.
Let him ask the question, Destiny, and then you answer it.
Piers keeps the train on the tracks. We need an answer. And even then, watch what happens.
Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host, when asked point blank, if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it, okay? This guy's an obfuscation machine. And if you know what else, Destiny, why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life and say the truth, that you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is. Isn't that really what's true?
And this is where it just goes off the rails, because the focus is now on this question. There's no escape.
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be happening.
Then why did you say the bullet should have hit Trump?
The Republican president of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring himself to say, all of us need to calm down. And
so did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did
Trump deserve the bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump
deserve the bullet
on his side ever? Did Donald Trump
answer the question? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
You can't answer the question.
This is one of those common reflection techniques where it's holding up a mirror in the hope of deflecting valid incoming criticism and just trying to bounce it back on them as a way to evade.
You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro, it's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
He knows what everyone is feeling towards him, so then he just starts throwing that at everyone else. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you will often see this. We describe that kind of as gaslighting now, but it's more just like holding up a mirror in the hope of deflecting. See, you can't answer the question, as you are literally evading the question.
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's disavowed violence. But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Donald Trump.
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
This is interesting here because he knows he's lying, and he's kind of doing it tongue in cheek. He knows the audience knows that he's lying.
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Then no. Then I'm going to lie. If you're going to lie, I'm going to lie. It's just another way of avoiding truth.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. When did Donald Trump disavow? Wait. When did Donald Trump disavow violence in this country?
Essentially mirroring back to Andrew. Well, you're lying about Trump, so therefore I can lie.
You lying sack of shit. If he wanted to kill Trump, the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. That's what you said, bro.
Yeah.
When you become so fixated on Trump, your own behavior becomes secondary. And how can that go wrong? It's like,
you are like the prototype of TDS. It's unbelievable. You wake up every morning and you decide your behavior is going to hinge on Trump.
Tell me more about the dancing Israelis and Building 7
and
how the Jews all knew about 9/11 and they all want us to go to war in the Middle East. Yeah, of course.
Because Trump didn't disavow in the way that you would like him to, therefore that makes your statement okay. That seems to be the logic here.
Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me answer the question that Piers asked me.
You must have been really bullied today, I
guess.
Let Anna speak, please.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior.
This really comes down to correct behavior versus incorrect behavior.
And the irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led the way in going in to debate with people who hated him. and he would
No,
try and
he
have
didn't.
respectful
Charlie
dialogue.
Kirk beat up
Well,
on college students.
unlike
That's all
you,
he
Destiny.
did. Let's be
Let me
real.
bring
Unlike
Andrew
me,
Wilson
I'm
in.
So do
Andrew,
you.
yeah.
Let me
What do you
bring
mean?
in
So
Andrew
do you.
Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You go on a college tour. You're
Charlie
going on a
Kirk was
college
trying to
tour
hold
right
higher
now
level
to
debates
beat
and you
up
guys
on
killed
college students.
I was there with Destiny when he was debating with high school students, and in the moment, I respected the amount of effort he put into it because he recognized these are students that want to do this. It wasn't just beating up on students.
What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing right this second, is going on a college tour to go beat up on college students.
So because Destiny is now on the back foot so badly, he makes a big mistake here and jumps on something that's just ridiculous to jump on.
That future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch." And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying
oh,
about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up.
shit! You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude.
Hey, fascist, catch was written on one of the casings. Who cares if it was the bullet that was fired? This is not a good look.
Oh my god! You're not even sight the right bullet. You're such a disgusting
Here's-
piece of shit. Holy fuck!
What a
Here's-
pedantic point.
Are we-
What a
are
It's
we
not
even gonna do
pedantic.
this?
This guy's a fucking
It's
professional
total
liar.
pedant-
pedantry.
gonna
It's
do
total
this?
pedantry.
Because this really comes down to proper behavior versus improper behavior. Many people seem to believe today that there's no such thing as right behavior. It's all just a matter of perspective.
Something absolutely needs to be done. This ideology should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse. I mean, you've got people who have completely dissociated with humanity.
You can justify any kind of behavior if you look for a justification long enough. But there is such a thing as the wrong way to behave, and that's what we're seeing here.
I think there is an element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds.
This video is sponsored by Venice AI, which is fighting back against censorship on the field of AI. And there's just certain questions you cannot ask with these other platforms. So if I type in create an image of North Korean soldiers fighting in Ukraine, the response is, sorry, I can't create that image. There's no verified evidence that North Korean soldiers are fighting in Ukraine. I'm not asking that. Venice answers questions that ChatGPT won't. Why should a team of developers get to censor the questions that you ask? If you've used any of the leading AI apps, you've probably run into this before. Venice AI is the solution. With only 2.2 censorship refusal rate compared to the 71% from Claude and 64% from ChatGPT. Venice utilizes leading open source, 4 specialized models to deliver text code and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads, no installations or anything. Messages are encrypted and your conversation history is stored only in your browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but you shouldn't need to give up your privacy to use it. The Dolphin Mistral 24B Venice Edition is their most uncensored model ever. Check the link in the description, venice.ai/Warren, and use code Warren to enjoy private uncensored AI. Using my code will get you 20% off a pro plan.
If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick, as I've just seen from Destiny.
I mean, he has effectively turned every single person on this panel, including Anna Kasparian, against him.
Hey,
You're
how
asking me a
about
question,
take it
so I
easy
didn't
on
know
the
it was rhetorical.
Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me answer the question that Pierce asked me.
You must have been really bullied today, I
My
guess.
Let Anna speak, please.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior.
But Destiny just reverts back to this battle between political sides. Until one individual on your side does this specific action, it doesn't matter what I do. How could that go wrong?
The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out to death. How could you mock that? What is wrong with you? I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart, and at the same time, you
it's
judge
such a simple thing.
others
If you're
as
going to
hateful.
weaponize somebody's grief against the other party, well, then of course people have a right to fight back against it.
Even his friends, even the organizers of his own event are calling him out.
We've been friends for 3 years and support you in a lot of ways, but I've been frustrated by your peers' performance and particularly the leaning into the ratcheting things up. I agree that you don't want to clap for me, I can assure you. We're not on the same team.
So make no mistake, she's not a Republican or a conservative. It's not even about that. This is about the right way to behave and the wrong way to behave.
In the case of the prisoner's dilemma, what you actually have is two sides where the win condition isn't both get to get off scot-free, or one person's in jail, one person's not. The actual issue is that it's an audience watching this and they get to decide the outcomes of these people, right? If the left and right are in a boxing match, the winning team isn't the team that knocks the other team out faster or harder. It's who the audience loves the most, because that's how democracy works.
I often say the audience does not lie, and this is similar to what she's describing. There's no escaping the audience, and the audience is a reflection of the fabric of reality.
Most moderates look at the assassination and they're horrified, but then they look at you mocking Erica Kirk and they're horrified. And the issue is that all we're doing is we're just driving normal people further away, not because they're making the most rational decision, but because they are the audience that gets to decide the winner.
Destiny's game has been kind of the opposite, where it's this element of troll-like behavior that garners attention. That can work for a bit. In the end, it will cause you to implode.
And I'm terrified that you are driving the audience to look at us as the villains, and I don't want the left to be the villains.
I'm really curious to see how Destiny responds to this.
Yeah, so I think that when you look at prisoner's dilemma stuff or tit-for-tat strategies, I think that's exactly how humans work. I think it maps on perfectly to human behavior. I think that people don't do things if they think it's going to be a bad outcome for it. I think that people do things if they feel like there's going to be some cooperative effort for it. I think that the thing that I guess I would fight for right now, rather than just the whether or not you look unhinged or not, is I think there should be a fight for the framing.
Notice his use of the language there, tit for tat.
I think that in a system where Donald Trump can make violent statement after violent statement after violent statement after violent statement, if somebody could look at a random person on the left and go, wow, this is too much for me, that system is deeply broken, and I think it's worth having the fight there.
So he just goes right back to Donald Trump. What she was talking about is something so much larger than just Trump.
The issue is that when I watched the peers debate, you have Andrew Wilson, the major attack that you had on him was denouncing Hortman, and he just immediately did it.
So let's look at the moment she's referring to.
Will any of the conservatives here acknowledge the conservative that murdered Melissa Hortman and her husband and shot the other senator in Minnesota?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just
that it was
about
a
all
conservative
political
shooter?
violence.
That it was a conservative shooter?
I don't know the details on that particular case. If I did, and it turned out that it was the case, of course, I would say that such violence should be disavowed. Thing is, you can't hold your entire moral standard based on what you think Trump is doing or not doing. What does that have to do with you, Destiny? It has nothing to do with you.
And so all of a sudden, you've lost all of the moral high ground. You just optically look terrible.
Well, to be clear, it's not losing any moral high ground. It's losing your perceived optical high ground.
But
you know somebody who didn't make any...
I, Destiny, know better than the world. There is no fabric of reality that the audience reflects. I mean, you can play that game for a bit.
The issue is that to most normal viewers, they watched you look more awful than every other person on that panel, whereas you could have just had the high ground if you go, of course the killing of Charlie Kirk was wrong, but why isn't the president calling down violence?
Yeah, and then they immediately move to the next Twitter account. You guys always have fantasies in your mind about what the conversation will look like next, but it never, ever, ever goes that way.
This is the problem with bad behavior. You can always find a way to rationalize it.
The framing needs to change, that it can't constantly be that one side has to act, 50 million levels of morality above the other side to be taken seriously. That's just a very unserious. And if that is where the moderate is at or the normie is at, then I guess we just go to the next, whatever the next form of government is, because the current one is not working, yeah.
Think about what that means. Let's just move on to the next form of government. So there goes democracy. Winston Churchill, democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others. But Destiny's claiming, well, then we might just have to move on to one of the worst forms.